Okay. And I'll add other people as they come in. So I don't know where everybody else is.
Okay. So Coach, what did TCU do really well down the stretch that broke the defense?
I'm not sure they did anything different late in the game. They definitely pushed another player up front, probably with about 10 minutes left to try and chase the game and get a goal. But they were good throughout the game. They caused us a lot of problems, especially in that first half. They were able to get their wide backs forward in a way that we weren't really prepared to deal with them, and that was a problem for us. And couldn't really fix it in the flow of the game until the second half. I thought we dealt with that a little bit better in the second half. And then obviously, we'll have to analyze both goals, but the first one was, a shot, and their kid kind of didn't know a whole lot about it. She just kind of got her foot on it and deflected it in. And, their winning goal, I honestly was looking away for a brief second, and I looked back and the kid was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So, it's a disappointing loss. We felt the euphoria of a win like that against West Virginia. Now we feel the low of losing it. So it's tough, but TCU is a very good team. We've got a lot of respect for them. I thought it was another really good soccer game. I think their keeper made 4 or 5 world-class saves, and that's why she's definitely the best goalkeeper in this conference. So.
Are there any challenges to getting a goal so early and then kind of having to hold on to that lead? Has that changed the way that the team plays?
Probably not right off the bat, but I think certainly as you get later into the game, your tendency as a coach and a player is to protect the lead instead of going. But, I don't think we were too guilty of that. We definitely dropped back a little bit, but we still created, in that second half, any one of those 4 or 5 really good chances where their keeper made some big plays would have sealed the game at 1-0. We were trying to get the second to make it 2. At the same time, they had a lot of scrambles in our box, a lot of service, and our kids had to block a lot of their shots too. So hard to complain. I mean, upset about the fact that we got the loss, but really hard to complain about the effort of the kids. I thought both teams played outstanding.
Was there a sort of sense that maybe TCU was going to equalize whenever they're in the box a lot of the time and getting a lot of good shots?
Yeah, I mean, there certainly was that fear because, like I said, they have good players and they were dangerous all night. But I think if you looked at the clean chances, the keeper saves, Emily, I made one really good save, but, their keeper made 4, 5, or 6. So they were getting their chances, but we also felt we were good for a second goal as well. Especially, I thought that sort of the first 15, 20 minutes of the second half, they took it to us. But then I thought the last sort of 15 or so, even 20, we were taking it to them. And then, of course, they get the goal late. So that it was tough to react to that. I mean, whenever you give up a goal late, you're trying to regroup for overtime. And obviously we came out and we weren't quite ready to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Coach. I'm sorry I hopped on late. So if I ask anything that you've already covered, I apologize for that. I'm curious, did it at all feel to you? I mean, just watching the game from up in the box, it looked a little bit like TCU had possessed the ball a lot in your guys' offensive zone, especially in that first half. Did it at all feel like that was going to come back and catch up to you at some point in the match?
Yeah, it definitely did. First of all, they're very good at possessing the ball. We knew that coming into the game. We knew they would probably have more of the ball than we did, but we wanted to hurt them on counterattacks when we had the ball. And that's kind of how our team is shaped up, to be honest with you. But yes, they did a couple of things in the first half that kind of threw us off a little bit and put us on the back foot. And, that's the coach's fault. We weren't prepared properly, and, that's on us. But, it's something that we hadn't seen on video from them. So they may have done that specifically for us. Their 2 fullbacks got on the ball in sort of central areas and were able to run at our defense, and it caused us a huge problem. But, second half, we made a little adjustment. I thought it got better. to some degree, but, we knew they were going to have a little bit more possession than we did just by the nature of the game. But, when you look at the stats, I think we outshot them 19-14. So we're not too worried about possession as long as we were continuing to get some clean looks at goal.
And Coach, I know the last thing you're going to do is use this as an excuse, but you've played 220 minutes of soccer in the last 2 games coming into this match. Did it at all feel to you that your team was tired or, worn down, maybe mentally or physically coming into this one?
No, not really. I mean, when you play 2 games a weekend, that's probably more relevant. But with 1 game a weekend, there's plenty of time for our kids to recover. So I wouldn't say that was the case at all. I think, both teams certainly showed a lot of grit, a lot of determination to keep competing. And, I said after the West Virginia game, even if we hadn't won, I would have been really upbeat because it was a really good soccer game. And I guess I have to stick to my word there. I'm disappointed that we came up short, but at the same time, it's hard to complain about the quality of that game. There was some really good soccer from both teams. And, maybe the difference was, when we got those really good looks, their keeper made some spectacular plays, and that might have been the difference in the game.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Colin, just a couple of things. One, take me through the start of the overtime, because I know as defensively, conscious as you, your staff, your team is, that was unusual, to say the least.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I honestly, the truth of the matter is, it happened so quick. I was walking down to the other end. I'd looked away, and then when I looked back, the kid was sort of going by key, and you just kind of saw everything open up in front of her, and she got a free running shot. So without seeing video, I don't want to be too critical of any of our players, but yeah, you're right. I mean, maybe giving up the late goal kind of shook us a little bit, and maybe we hadn't quite recovered going into overtime. But it was uncharacteristic of the backs. I thought they did a pretty good job all night of contesting shots and blocking shots, and on that one play we just didn't.
And the other question, and I know this is the thing that haunts soccer coaches forever. When you get the lead, you so desperately want that next goal, because that kind of, that kind of gives you a little security. And for the couple of games here, you had the opportunity, I guess not the Baylor game, but the West Virginia game, and now this one, you desperately needed that second goal. Are you happy with what you're trying to do to get it?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. As coaches, the first thing you do is question yourself, and late in the game, less than 10 minutes left, we definitely were a little more conservative and not pushing numbers up. But, I still think, late in the second half, maybe mid-second half, we were creating some really good looks at goal. And their keeper, again, she made Emily special, Emily Alvarado, and she made some spectacular plays. So we went for it. We tried to get that second goal. We talked at halftime about needing the second goal. You don't want to rely on a 1-goal lead against a good team. So it's definitely something, even in the Baylor game, we wanted the first goal. We felt like if we'd scored one when we were dominant, we would have won the game. So, we're a little disappointed for sure, not upset, because it's our first loss and it was against a good team and we played pretty well. I think we can play better, but we'll be okay. We're a little bit down right now, but definitely we definitely wanted to go out and get the second goal. We didn't intentionally sit back too much, but sometimes the game does that. TCU smart. They added another forward late in the game as well with about 10 minutes to go. And that puts a little bit more stress on our back line, and we have to drop a midfielder. So, that was smart on them.
Thanks.
Of course.
Hey, Coach, I want to apologize for hopping on a little late. We were filming our post-game reaction video, so like Ben said, didn't catch everything that was said. Okay. But I want to ask about a bright spot, which was Hannah Webb's first career goal. Yeah.
She said right here. So
first, I want to ask, how impressed were you from that goal? Up here, it looked like a really great shot, and how impressed were you coming off seeing that goal?
I was super impressed. It was a world-class goal, and it had to beat their keeper tonight. She if Hannah didn't put it exactly where she did in that top corner, their keeper probably would have made the save. She was that good tonight. So Yeah, it was a fantastic goal. Hannah's such a great player. Is that your first goal? First goal, and what a way to get it. Yeah, it couldn't have been a better shot. I mean, she put it right where the keeper could not get it, and like I said, based on the saves the keeper made, I think she's fortunate she did put it there, because that kid probably would have made the save.
Colin, what kind of spin did she have on that? Because
I think it was the inside of her foot, and she bent it, kind of curled it with the inside of her foot to the top corner.
Okay.
So she kind of brought it from outside in, if you like. She's over here saying she's been working on that and training every day. I'm just kidding.
And yeah, Coach, I was going to ask, as someone new to the program, I didn't know that Hannah had never scored before. Even as kind of a wingback, that really surprised me. Does she score in practice when y'all are doing scrimmages, or has it just never happened in a game? Or I'm wondering how rare it is for her to like score in practices.
No, she scores in practice as well. She'll finish pretty well in practice, and she's got a lot of assists. I can tell you that. Just hasn't been able to get the goal, but she scored a couple in the spring. I know that as well. So this is just her first goal in the fall, I believe.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Of course.
All right.
We ready for players now, or? Okay.
Here comes Hannah.
Oh, hey guys.
Hi, Hannah. I guess I'll go, since I don't know if you kind of heard my questions. I guess you're sitting right there. I was just going to ask you, what did it mean to be able to notch your first goal in a fashion like that? Obviously, you're probably not in a super great mood right now, but what did it feel like to score your first ever goal?
Honestly, I was so shocked that it went in. This was my first college goal that I've ever scored, and as soon as I hit it, it started curling up in the air, and I was like, oh my God, I really hope this goes in the goal. And it did, and it put us up 1-0. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough to hold the win for us, but it was pretty cool to get my first college goal.
Did you know it was in right off your foot, or were you kind of hoping, praying?
No, it kind of hung in the air a little bit, and I mean, everybody was just kind of watching it, and we were all waiting, like, is this going to go in? And then it finally dipped right underneath the crossbar and went in.
No doubt. And I guess I'll ask you too. Are you confident? Scoring goals in practices. You didn't look like a stranger to the goal with that rocket. Do you score a lot in practices? Did that feel?
Yeah, we do a lot of competition games and shooting games, and I'll score a goal every once in a while, but to have it translate to the game was pretty cool.
Awesome. And my last question is, I was thinking, having never scored a goal before, was that kind of on your mind? You kind of want that one highlight to be able to maybe show your kids and your friends and, people like that down the road where they can look that up? Is that kind of special to have that in the back pocket of a goal highlight?
Oh, that's so special. When we watch video on Monday, I'm going to have our coach play that like 5 times in a row, so nobody forgets it.
5 times might not be enough. Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks.
Hey, Hannah. Sam, he asked about the positive, and Will deservedly so. But obviously, not the result you guys wanted today. Do you think maybe the loss against Baylor, the tie against Baylor last week, and then the loss this week, does anything feel different around the team, or is it just a matter of not executing like you want to?
I think that we have to give credit to Baylor and to TCU. They're 2 great teams, and we had our opportunities that we just didn't finish, and we had a header from Cammie late in the second half that their keeper tipped over the bar, and we had our opportunities, and I don't think anything's different. I think we just in previous games we've made those opportunities count, and in the past 2 games we haven't. So it'll just be about being a little more effective in front of goal for these next few games.
Is it frustrating to watch an outstanding goalkeeper like Alvarado make all those saves all night long?
I mean, yeah, because obviously, we're doing the work to get in front of the goal, and but you have to respect the type of goalie that she is, and just be a little more clinical when we get those opportunities, because when you have a goalie that's that talented, you're not going to get as many opportunities as you normally would. So when you have that one golden chance, you got to make it count.
And what do you think the mood will be like in practice on Monday?
I think it'll be just kind of getting us back on track and seeing how we respond to these past 2 weeks with the tie and with the loss. It's nothing that we're not capable of doing. We've been in this situation before, and I think we can turn around and really get back on our feet for the next week.
Gotcha. And hey, congrats on number 1. Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you.
Hey Hannah, so one of the things that I noticed was TCU had a lot of opportunities within your guys' box. What kind of goes through your head as a defender whenever there's a lot of opportunities that close to the goal?
Whenever the forwards or the attacking mids get in the box and they're trying to beat you 1v1 or they're trying to get a shot off, the one thing that you got to do is move your feet. Don't dive, don't stab. Just try to keep your eye on the ball and shuffle, move your feet, and try to throw your body in front of the ball and, give your best defensive effort. So it's really just about concentration.
And then with the TCU goal before overtime, was there anything that you saw on the field that wouldn't have been obvious from like the press box?
Not that I saw. I think it was a good goal, and I think it shook us up a little bit. And obviously they came quickly with the next goal in the first overtime, and I'll give credit to their team. They have some very talented players, and I can't really remember, to be honest. So when we watch video, we'll have a better idea of what exactly broke down in our play.
Thanks, Hannah.
Anything else for Hannah? Sorry. You guys ready for Kionna?
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty. Thanks, Hannah.
Hi.
Hi, Kionna.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I really wanted to ask you about something that was really noticeable from up here in the press box. I can think of it a number of times. You and your fellow defenders jumping in front of shots like all night. You guys were just putting your body on the line, getting in the way, just fearless out there. What do you think that says about you and the rest of the defenders to do that all night?
I think it means that we're committed. We play as a team. We know that we're gonna fight for each other. We're gonna fight. We're gonna make sure that we don't get scored on anywhere in the defense at all. Knowing that if I dive and I know if I get my body in front of a player that's bigger than me and I block their shot, I know that my teammates will do the same thing for me whenever I can't do it. So it's more of just a team, a family thing. I just feel like we all work hard. We all grind together. So.
In the moment, does that hurt to get hit with a shot?
Sometimes it just depends on where it hits you on your body, but normally no, not really.
Because I'm thinking, wasn't there one you made on the side of the field? I think that's the north side with the little snack shack there. You were diving across the field. Was there one particular block you made? Do you remember what I might be talking about?
Are you talking about the one where number 11 was running across and about to shoot?
Yeah.
That one kind of hurt a little bit, but it's mostly just because the momentum from her and her shot and then her body, I was like, okay, let me just roll up out of here. But yeah, it was really exciting. I was my adrenaline was just going. I was like, okay, I don't feel anything yet, so maybe I'm good. So.
And this is probably a little bit of a different feel in the locker room than you've had your whole college career at Oklahoma State so far. What are you feeling right now? What's the mood in the locker room? Is it different?
A little bit. It's more disappointment with ourselves. I think it's because we worked hard. We were we were pushing the line. We were working together. We were doing everything we were taught to do that we know we need to do. It's just the small moments that just so happen to pass us by that kind of gets it. So of course it kind of stings a little bit just because it's our first loss and it's at home. So I mean, it definitely stings. But it's definitely a learning moment and a growing moment. So I feel we'll learn and grow better from this and be more prepared for the next challenges.
Thanks, Kionna.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna pull a little switcheroo here since we're sharing a computer up here with Cheryl and Ben. So I'll ask about a positive. I don't know. I was wondering just kind of what was your initial reaction when you saw Hannah Webb hit that shot? Obviously, as Hannah Webb, a player kind of wingback defender. What did it mean for a fellow defender / wingback to notch her first career goal? What did that mean for you?
Okay, honestly, whenever that ball was in the air, like I could have swore I held my breath for like the longest time because I was like, I swear if this doesn't go in, like I was just hoping it went in, and when it did, I was like, yes, like thank you. And then like she told us it was her first goal, and I was like, oh my god, it is. Like so, it was even more like sweet. I was like, oh my god, like yes, my fellow like defender, like she got this goal, like it was an amazing goal too. So I was really happy for her too.
Yeah, no doubt. And it looked like that from the kind of the celebration, right? Hannah had her hands in the air and everyone was kind of going crazy. What was that little celebration like?
It was definitely like amazing. It was like a lot of like energy. Like you could tell everyone was like extremely happy. We were all like happy we got this goal, that she got this goal. Like, cause especially like in practice, we see her doing them all the time. But like, it was like, dang, like when can you get it like in the game? Like we better see it in the game. Like, and it finally happened. So it was like a really like joyous moment, honestly.
Yeah, that's what Coach told me when Coach said that Hannah does it all the time in practice. And, as someone kind of new to the team, I was surprised that she'd never scored before. I guess it just never materialized. So I'm wondering, I'm not sure, you haven't scored yet in your college career, as a defender. Do you remember your first high school goal? What was that like?
That was exciting just because I usually was put in different places in the field. So like I played more than just one position in high school. So whenever I was able to score, I was like, okay, like, yeah, like this is it. Like I scored, now I know I can make some more goals. So like, it was exciting and definitely. And it's like, okay, like there's like, it makes you feel like, okay, now I can do this. I know I can, so I can do this more often, or I can work on this and be more confident in this. So yeah, I think it was really exciting, honestly, when I got mine.
Yeah, no doubt. Hannah said that when y'all have film session together as a team, that she's going to ask for that to be played back about 5 times. Do you think that'll be
10 times, honestly.
No doubt. All right. Thank you, Kionna.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Kionna, what things did you kind of notice from TCU down the stretch in the game just before overtime?
Noticed that they were stretching the field out a lot. They were trying to separate our defense. Like we know we play like a 5 in the back, so they knew that our wingers like to go up. So I think they were trying to just spread out our center backs wider along the field, so they like had more pockets to play through. And I think in the midfield, we just didn't know if we were supposed to step it out, just because like how their formation was. It was like, okay, it's a little different. We gotta like adjust. But it was definitely surprising because based off like what we've learned and like we were filming and stuff like that, it was like, okay, like we know who the key players were, but okay, we don't know what to expect because we haven't played them this year. So it was definitely different.
Was there any, did you feel any added pressure whenever it was kind of getting down the stretch and they were having a lot of chances at goal?
Definitely, just because of the fact that we want to keep a scoreless streak when it comes like against us. So it's like, okay, like we want to keep it as a shutout, and the fact that they were constantly breathing down our necks, basically, it was like a little stressful. But like I knew, like we all knew what we had to do. Like we all knew our role in the team, on the positions. Like we knew we had each other's back. So like it was a little bit of pressure, but at the same time, I was like, okay, like I just need to focus on what I can do at this moment, who I can mark at this moment, and just do what I can do.
And then whenever overtime started, did you guys make any adjustments in that break?
A little bit, mostly just about like who we need to make sure we stay on, like marking wise, who we do not let free at all, and just the small things like just making sure we stay focused. We can make sure we connect each pass that we play, make sure we make the run so we can get in behind their line. Just small things that he was just reiterating.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
All righty.
Appreciate it, Kionna.
Thanks, guys.